turn the autopilot on now so I don't have to do anything for a while. It's what I like about sailing sometimes.
I'm the cameraman. I'm Andy.
I call this the calm before the storm.
In our last episode, I found that the water leak was caused by the exhaust hose leaking water when we were underway, but since it's also when we're sailing, I poured a bunch of water on these through holes, but they didn't leak, so we determined we'd have to go on a sail to kind of see if they're submerged and really what happens. In this episode, we also go sailing, and we get the boat prepped for Hurricane or Tropical Storm Elsa.
United States Coast Guard, set to St. Petersburg, Florida. A hurricane warning is now in effect for the entire west coast of Florida. Mariners can expect winds of 74 to 110 miles per hour. All mariners should alter plans to avoid hazardous conditions. Remain in port. Seek safe harbor. Alter course. And or secure the vessel for severe conditions. This is United States Coast Guard, set to St. Petersburg, Florida. Out.
It's hard to believe that we're going out in the boat. There's going to be a hurricane or a tropical storm here in 2 days. Chasing it down. Go ahead, Andy. Shine the camera up there. The boat in front of us is just from a few slips down at our marina, and as they crossed our bow, we turned in behind them to try and catch up to them.
Is going to be. I'm pretty sure that's our neighbors over there from the marina. So we want to turn around, go to our anchorage, and have some lunch. So Jason, what do you think we should do?
We're going to do a starboard tack. We're going to just basically turn into the wind, tack, go back the other way, and the sails will go on the other side, and then we'll go have like a downwind run on the way back.
Okay. So that way we avoid a drive.
All right, prepare to tack. Ready?
Okay, ready.
We actually had a really good day for sailing. It was maybe 6 or 7 knots of wind, and we had my cousin and his wife on the boat. We never had anyone on this boat before. We weren't really sure how it would work out in the cockpit with limited space for people while we're trying to wrangle all the lines like this. But it turns out we only need them to move out of the way when we're tacking or doing something when we need the space. Let's see.
All right, successful tack, Captain. You got a successful tack?
Oh, it was really good, yeah, and we got a nice beam reach. We got a nice beam reach for the way back, going directly south. And we're gonna sit with our relatives here and chill out.
All right, and what are you gonna do?
What do you mean? Oh, I'm gonna turn the autopilot on now so I don't have to do anything for a while. It's what I like about sailing sometimes.
Yep.
I'm the cameraman. I'm Andy, Jason's cousin. Just moved to Florida 2 weeks ago. And my wife is over there. That's Angelica.
30 degrees might be enough, or do you think that's not? Okay, I think the motor can take us there. I'm just trying to get the sail into the wind enough to get it down. I need all my sail ties. You know where those are?
Yes, they're right here. Does this need to be loose or anything?
No, the sail's nice and loose right now. It looks good.
All right, just tell me if you want me to pull it in.
Okay. All right, pull it in, Susie, all the way till it's straight. We got a chance to jump in the water to cool off a little bit. While we were sitting there eating our lunch, bobbing around, some dolphins came to visit us. I think there were like 5.
We are back at the dock after a beautiful day sailing. I call this the calm before the storm because we are expecting Hurricane or Tropical Storm Elsa. Hopefully it'll just be a tropical storm.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Today's Monday. It's supposed to get here Wednesday, but tomorrow we're supposed to have the start of the winds.
Yeah, so we figured we'd take advantage of this beautiful day that we had today. Light winds, but enough to be going, what did we go, like 6 knots, right?
Yeah, we
At
only
some point?
had like 6 or 8 knots of wind, not maybe 6 knots of wind on like a beam reach or a close haul, and this boat just sails so beautifully in that much wind. It just glides along and it's real comfortable. It's not heeled over. It's just great. Yeah.
Yeah, and so we had Jason's cousins who just recently moved to Florida from Georgia, and they came on board with us. We had a nice little charcuterie board for lunch, and our only unfortunate thing was that we have red tide out there, so we couldn't really jump in. I brought all our floats. We expected to like get out there and really do some floating and some diving off the boat and stuff, but hey, we have the rest of the summer to do that. So today we just need to focus on getting hurricane ready. This is our first hurricane or tropical storm in this boat.
Yeah, we actually had the other one in some tropical storms. Not enough was just out in the water. We had like 50-mile-an-hour winds, and it dragged around a couple hundred feet. But if you guys haven't heard of red tide, it makes it's like you're sniffing pepper, so it makes you cough and it burns your throat.
On to our Hurricane 2021.
Yeah, and we're gonna basically do some prep here for the first time ever on this boat. We've never folded up the bimini top. We took the spray shield off before, but a couple things we have to do, so we'll go ahead and do that now. Hurricane preparations on a sailboat is just tying off anything that can come loose and putting lines around everything that can wiggle or shake in a storm and maybe become dislodged, and also rearranging all the lines on the boat to make sure it can accommodate for way higher or lower tides, depending on which way the wind's blowing. If we were expecting a big hurricane with winds over or close to 100 miles an hour, I would have taken the sails off the boat, but this seems like more of a tropical storm with wind speeds close to 75 miles an hour, and I don't think we'll see more than about 20 to 30 miles an hour at our marina. So I'm going to leave the sails on, and I also looked around, and that's pretty much what everyone else did. That other thing starts to make sense because we couldn't have done this without somebody.
Oops. Well, it's our first time getting it prepared for a storm, and I think we could do a little more research for the next one, because this storm, I mean, famous last words, but it, I don't think, at least it's not even a hurricane yet.
That's what you're saying to do, like that?
Yeah.
It's so weird being over here with this nice calm day with the birds chirping, just knowing what's to come. Put a new one on this line over here too.
Hunkering down, getting ready for Tropical Storm Elsa. Can't be too careful, right?
We're supposed to have a storm surge during this storm, and while the normal water level changes about 3 feet, it might change up to 5 feet this time, so we have to leave extra slack in the lines while still controlling the boat.
Captain Jason checking out all of the lines one last time before we head out. First band is supposed to be hitting probably in about an hour or two.
We had one last look at the intercoastal waterway out towards the Gulf of Mexico. This evening, all this was going to be so different. Almost all the spaghetti models put Storm Elsa right over where we were. But the wind speeds weren't projected to be so bad, just somewhere around 75 miles an hour. But since most of those winds would come at night once it got dark, we had to be prepared for the worst. The marina shut the power off at our power poles at 5 p.m., so all we could do is charge our batteries and hope for the best. The morning after the hurricane, or I guess tropical storm, or I guess it was a hurricane and a tropical storm, both back and forth, but got my new air conditioning pump, water pump, and this is what it sounds like right now in here. Because we're still getting like 30 mile an hour winds, and in the marina here it's probably 15 or 20. We're really happy that our boat stayed safe and we got some good practice for the rest of the hurricane season.